I just finished making this fake 2080 Ti, and now I'm going to try to sell it. Now before you go in this video and you're like, but Jay, you make all these videos advocating and educating people on scams, why would you turn around and join the people that you really don't like? And that's wrong. We are not joining the people we don't like. We're going to see if my scam here is good enough today and show you how I built it. Now no, I'm not actually going to take anybody's money. Obviously that'd be immoral and not right. But instead, we're going to call up my buddy and see if he's actually interested or would be interested in buying this card. And honestly, we'll see the reaction of how good my scam is then. Also, additionally, since we have some unfortunate events going around, this also cannot really go visually to him. So I've got to make sure that what I show him on my little FaceTime call gives him enough gist to see if he wants to buy it. Also, I'm not going to waste my friend's time. I'm not going to sell this to him. Obviously, that'd be just, as I said, that whole boat of things I don't like. Instead, though, however, I've got a little gift for him. His current computer, it's lacking a little bit. It has a problem where it can't connect to the Wi-Fi, and that's kind of an issue when you try to move your computer from the wire connection in the living room to your room. So my homie needs to get himself a little wireless adapter, and I've got him something, a little nice gift that I gotta figure out how to mail with the current events going on. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But besides that, with this in mind, I'm gonna show you how I made the sucker first, the entire process of modeling it, all the little bit of software modifications and stuff like that. And then we're gonna show you this little fake process. And then of course, my hope is that you watch this video and you say, wow, these are all the things I can look out for. Yeah, this is the story of how I made a fake 2080 Ti and got someone to almost buy it. Okay, so the card that I've selected for our fake scam graphics card, the 2080 Ti, is actually a rather older or a obsolete Quadro. This is a K420. This is one of the older ones. I think this is 3 or 4 years old. Obviously, this is much newer than some of the cards that you'll be getting in the scam department. There's a lot more cards out there that are a lot more older, but for a couple reasons why I've chosen this one. Well, first, I actually have one, so I don't need to go out and buy one, especially since there's a little lack of buying stuff right now on the internet and things showing up in mail. We're working do with what we have. So here it is. This is the card that we're going to be working with. So my idea is I've actually got 2 of these regular little case fans, and we're going to turn these 2 into the fans that are part of the stock 2080 Ti cooler. And then for the actual heatsink itself, I think I will try and modify the heatsink on here to basically have one of these as input and one of these as output, and basically get even better cooling. For the shroud itself, I'm thinking I'm going to 3D print and basically just kind of design this all in like Fusion 360 or something like that. And then after that, we'll go through and we'll do more of a spoofing method. If you watch my documentary, or kind of not my documentary, but it was more of like a very educational video about how scam graphics cards are made. It talked a lot about how, there's certain ways you can go through and modify this to look like a real card in your computer. And we're going to do the third option. So if you haven't checked that video, that's probably something you want to do just so you understand what we're kind of talking about. But yeah, so basically just going to like spoof the card, not actually make the card retain any values. It still will be a Quadro K420. It will just look different in the computer. And as I said, the reason behind this is I don't actually believe in making fake cards. And I think it's actually a really big problem. But we can go on and on about that. Let's go through and get started on designing this in the Fusion software, and then also kind of getting an idea of what we got to do for these fans. So I have a couple different things I'd like to show you. So first off, this is the card that we've been working on. Basically, the stock cooler itself is gonna gone. We've got the same heatsink though. And so I started working on some revisions and some designs. So the first design that I came up with was more of a blower style card. This card kind of had a lot of, I guess you put the fan here and it would blow the air down this little kind of like ramp, and it would push it right into the heatsink. And that was reasonable. But obviously, since we were going for the stock or the Founders Edition 2080 Ti, I wanted to do a little bit more work on that. So yes, the air blows down here, it goes through the fan, it comes out the other end. This would be a great blower style card. But no, this is not what we're going to go with. So I decided to improve on it a little bit more by adding another fan in here.
and then keeping this solid. So that way it would be more of like an intake and an outtake. So next, I came up with this wonderful little design here, if I can put this on. But basically what this does is, instead of having just the little, just single blower style cards, you have the exit as well. So basically I kind of started sealing up some of these little holes that are on the side here, so that way you'd have intake, and then this would pull out. And so this could be used as a great example. It definitely could work as a Founders Edition. Obviously you have one fan flip though, and it would look a little odd. So I had to keep thinking though on how to actually make something that would work for what I was looking at. So yes, this would actually probably be very more, or cool a lot better than the blower style card, and even the stock cooler itself, or the fans. This would definitely make it cool better, but it's not what we're going for. So finally, for the last little bit, I came up with this little design here. And as you see, this has fans on it, so it's actually kind of finished. It's the finished design. So here it is. So you've got the two fans up on top. It's still got the ramp on here to push air through. And then you've got this other fan that's taking air. So these two fans are taking air in, and the air is coming out in the center. And you're going, oh, well, that's kind of useless. The air just kind of gets recycled and stuff, and that's not really beneficial to the cooler. So then on top of it, I printed part of this. This is actually the 2080 Ti actual shroud that you're familiar with. Obviously, I actually didn't finish printing properly, but this is basically what you're familiar with. This is the two fan intakes, and that's kind of what you're looking at. Now, interestingly enough, though, the way that I've set this up is so that the fan itself, this little area right here, is actually right where the air is going to be pushing out, and there's a little space on each side to let the air flow out down the card. So when you put this on, as you can see, this lines up. The air actually comes out of here and pushes on here, and then blows out each side. So what this does is it kind of pushes the air onto the card itself. So the entire card really just gets good airflow. So this really does make it highly useful. This cooler will definitely cool better than the stock cooler, but it also makes it look cool and have the true functionality of the two perfectly working fans as well. So there we go, there's that. I'm going to finish printing this. I'll show you guys what the final product looks like.
So then moving on, it was time to go through and spray paint. And for this, I had just taped this off pretty much with what you'd expect. And then I go through and I pretty much sand this down first. And then I go through and pretty much sit down and just spray paint a little bit. For this color, this is all that I really had, so you know, it's not like there was much choice with all the stuff going on. So I did the best job to spray paint this a little bit, and then yeah, finished up. Obviously, I could have left the fans out, but it was a lot of work to go through and actually tape out the fans. I ended up, and I'm happy with how it looked. It's not perfect, but that's not what it's supposed to be.
So I just went through and just changed the display settings on the graphics card. It's actually only for Windows, this set of Windows. But I just changed what it displays like. So I just wanted to see if I could. So the next thing that I'm going to do though is I'm going to call up one of my buddies, and I'm actually going to go through and try to sell it to him. Now I'm thinking I might do like $30-40 and see if he'd bite on it. Now obviously it's a scam card. I'm not actually going to end up scamming my buddy. If he wants the card, he's welcome to have it. But he actually needs a Wi-Fi adapter for his setup. I actually built him a computer. I actually gave him a computer a while back. I think it was maybe 6 months ago. And he's finally moved it to his room. So, while yes, I am technically going to try to scam him, I'm not actually going to take any money. I'm actually going to give him a gift as well, just so that I have an extra Wi-Fi adapter laying around. So I thought I'd give that to him, and then, you know, for helping me in the video. I'm not going to tell him anything. I'll just call him up, and we'll see what happens, what he actually thinks, and if he's interested in buying it for like, what, $30, I think we'll say. And I'll say it's a 2080 Ti and send him a link to one, and I'll see if he's interested. Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, there you go.
How's it going?
What's up?
So, I got a couple things. First off,
Okay.
I have a graphics card. Want to know if you want to buy for like $10?
Yes.
You didn't even hear what it is. So it's a 2080 Ti. I don't know if you know what those are, but they're kind of expensive.
Okay.
So you interested?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
In reality, I don't want a 2080 Ti. I just want to see how good that actually is. On the bright side, though, I have a gift for you. I'm gonna mail it to you. It's a Wi-Fi adapter.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have a graphics card. I have a Wi-Fi adapter, but I'm gonna mail this to you since there's coronavirus and stuff.
Thanks, Poppy.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I just need some input. This is actually a fake graphics card that I made that I've been working on.
Does it work?
It works. It just let's see if I can get it out. It's a nice fake one. See, it works fine. It's just a little small. I don't have to compensate for anything.
Yes, I'll. How much?
Dude, it's not even real, man. It's fake.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want it, you're welcome to have it, but it won't play games like your current one.
Oh, okay.
But I do have a Wi-Fi adapter for you, and I'm not gonna. I'll mail it to you. You don't have to pay me anything for it. Just a little gift.
You need my address?
I'll text that to me, and I'll send it to you. And I'll see you later. Okay?
Thanks, man.
No problem, dude. So it's cost analysis time. Let's go over how much this sucker cost me. Well, the Wi-Fi adapter I'm giving my friend for his time is, of course, only like, I think, $5. I got it at a yard sale. Wasn't that big of a deal. I have it. He needs it. That's no problem. No questions asked. Now, the actual card itself, a Quadro 420, while, yes, being a valuable piece of graphics card history, definitely does not retail for anywhere close to $10. This card is what I had, and as I said, with unfortunate events going on, that's all I had. So, that's what I worked with. And so I built this entire shroud using relatively cheap 3D printing filament. What, a roll of like 15 bucks gets you like a kilogram? Yeah, this sucker is not a kilogram. I could probably print 4 or 5. So really, it cost me maybe $3 to print this sucker. And if you got yourself a cheap graphics card, as well as the fans that I think I got at a yard sale for $1, you're looking pretty good on making a relatively cheap scam card. Now, this is the other thing too. I always wonder when I look and I get all these scams, is they make it so obvious. All these cards are always following the same format. And while yes, this takes a lot of work to make a custom shroud, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have the resources, A, to 3D print it, B, some way of manufacturing it, and C, know how to actually model it. So this takes a lot more work, and also making it for a much smaller, different card is also a lot of work. But I feel like this is a much better bang for your buck in scam world than some of these other cards. Because at least with this, if this was $5, I'm going to be honest with you, I would buy it. Not because I think, obviously it's a scam and you should expect to know what you're getting. And if they're advertising this as a real 20 Ti, then you just kind of already dug your hole deep and I wouldn't buy it. But if this is just like maybe a keychain or something, that'd be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But that's today's video. Now obviously I could play games on this and try to play games on this. And honestly, it won't perform any different than the Quadro itself. People get like all in the comments, they're like, why don't you play games on the card, see how much it changes the performance? When you add a different cooler on here, that probably is actually slightly worse. I designed this pretty well, but it could be worse. The cooler, it might throttle a little bit, and it might not play as good, but a Quadro already is crappy for games, so I would not recommend it altogether. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have a fabulous day, and everyone, please do me a favor and stay safe because it's a little scary out there. So, also, some advice. Toilet paper. That's the only thing you should be putting down the toilet. Somebody told me, someone informed me that there was tissues, people using tissues for that stuff. And I gotta say, there's not enough, just not enough. We're just gonna leave it there. Adios, guys. Stay safe.